This game hit the scene like a tank rolling through a war zone, promising to redefine mobile shooters with epic 24 by 24 battles, Black Hawk helicopters, and enough explosions to make Michael Bay jealous. Released on April 21st, 2025, by Teamy Studio Group, the same folks who brought us Call of Duty Mobile, it's been a massive hit, racking up over 10 million downloads in just 4 days and snagging top spots on the App Store and Google Play. With 4.7 stars from 21.6 thousand reviews on the App Store and 4.6 stars from 92.8 thousand reviews on Google Play, it's clear players are hyped. But here's the thing. Not everything's as shiny as it seems. There's trouble brewing under the surface, and today, we're peeling back the layers to talk about what could be the downfall of Delta Force Mobile. First, let's set the stage. Delta Force Mobile is the latest chapter in the iconic Delta Force series, which has been a staple for PC gamers since the late 90s. Back then, it was all about tactical, military-style FPS action, and it built a cult following with titles like Delta Force, Black Hawk Down. Fast forward to 2025, and Teamy Studio Group decided to bring that legacy to your phone. We're talking massive battles with 48 players clashing across land, sea, and air. You can hop into a tank, fly a chopper, or just go old school with a customized assault rifle. The game offers 2 main modes: Warfare, which is like Battlefield on steroids with objective-based team fights and operations, a next-gen extraction shooter where you loot, fight, and try to get out alive. With 10 operators, 55 firearms, and 12 vehicles, it's got all the bells and whistles you'd expect from a AAA mobile title. The graphics? Stunning for a phone game. The controls? Pretty smooth, at least on newer devices. And the chaos? Oh, it's glorious. Players are calling it a console game on mobile, and reviews like the one from Pocket Tactics are singing its praises, saying it's the only mobile FPS worth your time. So what's not to love? Well, hold your horses, because not everyone's singing Kumbaya around the campfire. Despite the hype and those shiny ratings, there's a growing chorus of players pointing out some serious cracks in the foundation. Let's start with the technical side, because this is where things get messy. One of the biggest headaches is account binding between the PC and mobile versions. Delta Force is available on both platforms, and you'd think syncing your progress would be a breeze, right? Wrong. Some players, especially those using Steam in Europe, have reported absolute nightmares after linking their accounts. One Reddit user, 6skills, posted on the Delta Force Game HQ subreddit about how binding their PC account to mobile made it impossible to queue for matches on PC. They'd get stuck in the lobby, staring at a loading screen like it was mocking them. And when they reached out to support, crickets, or worse, generic responses like, "Check your network." Meanwhile, creating a new account worked fine, which smells like a bug the devs haven't squashed yet. 6skills even found a workaround, uninstalling the mobile app and grinding out 5 to 10 matches on PC. But who has time for that? This isn't just one guy's bad day. Comments on the post suggest it's hitting a chunk of players, especially in the EU. Why does this matter? Because cross-platform play is a big selling point, and if you're alienating players who want to switch between their phone and PC, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Then there's the performance issue, and oh boy, this one's a doozy. Delta Force Mobile looks amazing, but it's a bit of a diva when it comes to hardware. The game demands some serious horsepower, and not everyone's phone or even PC is up to the task. One App Store reviewer, Back Thunder, went off about how even a $5,000 laptop with an RTX 3070 was choking on this game, with loading issues that made playing certain modes like operations a no-go. On mobile, it's a similar story. While newer devices like the latest iPhones or high-end Androids handle it fine, older phones or budget models are struggling with lag, crashes, and frame rate drops. Another user on TapTap complained that the game needs more optimization, saying it feels like a beta sometimes. This isn't just about a few cranky players, it's a real accessibility problem. Not everyone can afford a flagship phone, and if you're locking out a big chunk of your audience, you're limiting your reach. In a market where games like PUBG Mobile run on practically anything, this is a red flag. And let's not forget the controller situation or lack thereof. If you're a mobile gamer who loves using a controller for that extra precision, you're out of luck with Delta Force Mobile. Right now, it's touch controls only, and players are not happy about it. Sharpshooter Ruger, another App Store reviewer, called the game fun and addicting, but begged for controller support, pointing out that competitors like Call of Duty Mobile have had it for years. Back Thunder even suggested that 30% of the game's potential console players are being ignored because of this. Why does this sting? Because shooters are all about accuracy, and touch controls can feel clunky, especially in high-stakes matches. The devs have hinted that controller support is coming, according to a PC Games N article, but there's no clear timeline. In the meantime, players are stuck swiping and tapping, which isn't ideal when you're trying to snipe someone from a moving helicopter. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Monetization. Delta Force Mobile is free to play, which is awesome, but we all know what that means. Microtransactions galore. The game's official description screams "no pay to win," promising that purchases are limited to cosmetics and battle passes. Sounds fair, right? But some players aren't buying it, and they've got reasons to be skeptical. The PC version of Delta Force has already taken heat for its monetization, with PC Gamer calling it a bottomless void from which no light can escape. They slammed the game for using multiple currencies and systems designed to trigger FOMO, basically fishing for big spenders, or whales, as the industry calls them. While the mobile version hasn't been called out as harshly, it's got the same free-to-play DNA, so players are keeping their eyes peeled. The App Store lists in-app purchases, including a battle pass that one reviewer said they broke down and bought because it was fun to grind. But here's the kicker. Even if it's not pay to win now, free-to-play games have a way of creeping toward paywalls over time. A Reddit thread on Delta Force Global had players speculating about how the game will make money, with some hoping it sticks to cosmetics and others worried about Tencent's spotty track record with fair monetization. Why does this matter? Because if players start feeling like they're being nickel and dimed, they'll jump ship to games that respect their wallets. So what's the community saying? It's a mixed bag. On one hand, you've got players raving about the chaotic Battlefield vibe and immersive graphics, with tap-tap reviews calling it the best FPS out there. On the other hand, there's frustration bubbling up. That same tap-tap user who loved the game also said they'd kill for the Black Hawk Down campaign on mobile, which by the way seems to be PC exclusive for now. Another player admitted they were hyped before launch, but felt let down after playing, saying the game didn't live up to their expectations. On Reddit, posts range from bug reports like internet disconnects after a few minutes to requests for new features like team deathmatch or quicker game modes. An X-post from Rose Smith asked what players want next, and the replies were all over the place. Some want Battle Royale, others want better servers. The point is, the community loves the game's potential but isn't shy about calling out its flaws. And in a game this new, that feedback is gold, if the devs listen. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the competition. Delta Force Mobile isn't just fighting for your attention. It's going toe-to-toe with heavyweights like Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, and maybe even Apex Legends Mobile if it's still kicking. These games have had years to polish their gameplay, optimize for all devices, and build loyal fan bases. Call of Duty Mobile, for example, offers controller support, a variety of modes like Battle Royale, and buttery smooth performance on mid-range phones. PUBG Mobile is a beast when it comes to accessibility, running on everything from budget devices to high-end tablets. Delta Force Mobile brings something unique to the table with its massive battles and vehicle-heavy gameplay, but it's playing catch-up in other areas. If it can't fix the technical hiccups and keep monetization fair, players might ditch it for a game that's already nailed the formula. But it's not all bad news. The devs are clearly invested in making this game a hit. They've already rolled out updates, like the Season 4 Eclipse Vigil launch that added new operators and night modes. Patch notes from early May 2025 show they're tackling bugs, like fixing mission failures in the PC's Black Hawk Down campaign and optimizing performance. The mobile version's success, hitting #1 on the App Store in 169 territories and Google Play in 125, according to DLH.net, proves they've got the chops to pull this off. They're also engaging with the community, hosting events like the Burst Fest to celebrate milestones and offering rewards to keep players hooked. If they can keep up this momentum and address the pain points, Delta Force Mobile could be a game changer. So, where does this leave us? Delta Force Mobile is a beast of a game with jaw-dropping visuals, heart-pounding action, and a ton of potential. But it's not perfect. Technical issues like account-binding glitches, performance woes, and missing controller support are holding it back. Monetization is a question mark, with players wary of getting burned by sneaky microtransactions. And in a market packed with polished competitors, there's no room for error. The downfall we're talking about isn't here yet, far from it, with 10 million players and counting. But if the devs don't listen to the community and fix these issues, they're rolling the dice on losing players to games that have already figured it out. The good news? They've got time to turn things around, and they seem committed to doing so. That's it for today's deep dive, folks. Delta Force Mobile is a wild ride, but it's got some bumps in the road. Have you played it yet? Run into any of these issues? Or are you loving every second of it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear all the juicy details. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next one. Until then, keep your aim sharp and your squad tighter. Peace out.